Lions? Nah. Tigers? No. Bears? Oh my. Find out why we call it Bearly Homesteading next. So it's been a pretty rough week, a week and a half on the homestead. We had a very late snowstorm that gave us about 2.5, 3 inches of very wet spring snow. Did a number on our garden. We lost some of our plants that we had started inside and had moved out. And we also had a bear attack. Bear broke into our storage shed for our garbage and also tried to break into our chickens. It is June 9th, and last night we got 2 inches of snow. And so this is going to, and it's still coming down actually. This is going to devastate our garden that we just put in after having some 80-degree days up here. We thought we were safe, but the weather had other plans. So we'll have to see in the next couple of days what we'll actually be able to salvage out there in the garden. So our chicken netting that we placed over the garden area to keep the birds out is also trapping the snow. And so we're going to have to figure out some supports or something so this whole thing doesn't come down on top of us. In addition to the snow, last night as we were getting the chickens into the coop so that we could keep them out of the snow for the night, I noticed that it looks like a bear tried to get into our chicken area, our chicken run. It tore through the hardware cloth, but did not get through the welded wire fencing. So I'm guessing that it was a smaller bear, probably a cub or a juvenile. Got to get this fixed right away. If a bear does get in and starts eating our chickens, we'll never get rid of it. They will completely devastate our entire flock. So looks like I'll be going and getting some electric fencing this afternoon so that we can keep the animals, the predators, out. So this is the garbage shed that we had built to store garbage cans because we didn't have room for them in the garage. And we built it out of pressure treated plywood and 2x4s. We put some wire spikes along the doors to try to discourage animals from grabbing up there, and you can see that our bear tried to get in through that, failed, and so came over to this other side that is not plywood because we built this first and tore open the fence slats. So we're also going to have to get that repaired before the bear comes back.
So one of the things that the bear got into was our garbage shed. Now, he visited us several times last summer, and so last summer we did reinforced all of it with the, is this plywood or?
It's
pressure treated plywood, and then 2x4s on all the seams, and then we have bear spikes up on top, which actually some of them had been damaged, so he had tried to get in that way, and the bear spikes had prevented him ripping the door off again, so that was good. But we hadn't completely sealed off this side because this is where our propane tank is, and we thought the propane tank was close enough that the bear wouldn't be able to fit in. But we were wrong. He actually came in through that back fence there and then ripped a side, or a big hole in this side. So now we are reinforcing this with the pressure treated plywood and then the 2x4s. And then we'll paint it to match, so, you know, pretty. But that's what we do when we get problems. We've got to fix them, and we've got to keep the bears out, otherwise they keep coming back. And when we've got chickens and turkeys not very far from here, we've got to keep the bears away. Bears can remember places where they have got food for years, and they will keep coming back and testing to see if they can get in again. We've got some enthusiastic helpers right here. We are using scrap wood so that it's pieced together a little bit, but we've got it and we don't need to go buy new. It's just the garbage shed. And once it's painted, it'll look a lot better. Kind of an awkward space to be working and trying to wedge himself down there between the tank and the wall. I don't know how a bear fit.
Alright, these 2x4s, these two vertical ones, I have screwed, or actually used lag screws or headlocks, better than lag screws. And I have attached these directly to the 4x4 posts, sandwiching the plywood between the 2x4 and the post. So that's the two vertical ones. These horizontal ones, I am sandwiching the plywood between these and the 2x4s on the inside that I have screwed the plywood to. And so the plywood is going to get sandwiched all the way around between these 2x4s, giving it a lot of strength and not giving the bears really anywhere where they can grab onto and pry the plywood off. At least that's the theory.
Impact driver. If you don't have one, get one.
I probably use my battery-powered impact driver more than all of my other battery tools combined. Maybe 2 to 1. That's how useful this is. Alright, so we got the side on. Mama Bear and the kids will probably paint it this week. And hopefully that will prevent the bears from getting into the garbage. Mama Bear is a little concerned about the roof, and I am as well. And so we may make some changes to that. We'll see what kind of time we got. It's a busy time of year.
This was the break-in spot of the chicken coop. I'm sorry I didn't get any video of him fixing that. He came in and he trimmed off all the kind of the shredded broken wires and tried to fold the ends over to keep it tight. And then he attached another piece covering that hole that we'd had to cut out. And then he got this wire right here, you can see, and he kind of wove it around in and out to tie down that flap to make sure it was good and strong. We wanted to do this, and for one, because the bear got through that first layer, but he didn't get through the second layer, so we wanted to make sure we had 2 layers and we made it just difficult enough for him to get in. We also decided that we need to electrify. So we've got these spacer thingies with the wire that'll come around. We've got a second wire down here. And so we'll turn that on at night to make sure that if a bear does come, he gets a nice little surprise. Because once a bear tastes our chickens, he will not leave them alone.
So in addition to patching the fencing for the chickens that the bear ripped out, we've added some electric wire lines all the way around the garden. The first one is at about 2 feet from ground level, and this is to stop animals that are going to come up sniffing around. They're coming in lower, and so before they can get up and do any damage, they get zapped, and hopefully they go away. The second one is about 4 feet up, and this line is to stop bears and larger animals that are going to come and stand up, rear back on their hind legs, and try to grab a hold of the fence. And they're going to hit that higher line and get zapped, and again, hopefully run off. We've run both of these all the way around the garden area, and so we'll be protecting not only the chickens but also the whole garden. And we had to put this electric fencing up fairly quickly, so the actual electric lines are in place, but the energizer is only set up temporarily, and we'll do a later segment talking about the final placement of the energizer and what we're doing with that. So as I said, it's been a rough week here on the homestead between the snow and the bear. We had a lot of close calls, a lot of near misses, and a lot of work to do to clean up. Over the next few weeks, we'll be able to assess how well our garden survived this late snow. Hopefully most of the plants survived, but we'll just have to see. And we'll keep you informed as we learn more. So for Bearly Homesteading, this is Lumberjack saying use it up, wear it out, make it do without, and stay safe from bears. Please like and subscribe. See you next time.